Welcome to another episode of Ksa Talk Show. Today is 2019, November 6th, Wednesday, 10 o'clock, 40 minutes after 10, San Francisco time. And we are approaching autumn. Welcome all, welcome Bart. I'm alive indeed. And welcome Kufo School and Panos and GNU Bernie Sanders and Emily and Sintu. I scream, you scream, we scream. Okay, so Discord, yes, you guys spot. We miss you. We have a lot of fun here. So join us. We're gonna talk about Emily's setup, Emily's gig. She's got she's got her hands on thousands computers, and this computer has got 96 CPUs, 96 cores. Okay, we're gonna have a look at that. That's interesting. And good morning, Alan. Good morning, all. And Discord, yes, Discord. So, for those of you guys who have not joined Discord, so here is XR Fan Club, so to speak. XR Discord. Okay, so it's fun. Yeah, so okay, so what we gonna do? We have several topics. So I've been working. So I started to code Emacs Lisp. I haven't really done for a while. So yesterday, 2 days ago, I did a lot Emacs Lisp, and I'm gonna show you what's going on. So stop this video. Okay. So let's do that. What? Lots of people are waiting for your commands. Yeah, thank you guys. And for some reason, I have audiences. That's fantastic. And Emily is a Emacs Lisp coder. Oh my God, her screen is like one huge giant screen, and it's all Emacs Lisp code. And she's using Emacs Lisp for work apparently. So so actually, let's begin with let's start talking about Emily's setup. So she's got. Let me show you guys. Okay, a lot of messages I missed. Did I miss? Oh, this one is cute. Let's see. This one, wow, Lisp code. Wow, okay, full screen Lisp code. This one is cute. So what is this, Emily? Codeverse Lisp dot Lisp. Oh, dot Lisp. Dot Lisp sounds like common Lisp. Applications function filter ISP LSP filter flatten define flatten. Oh, Lisp common Lisp has flatten, right? I think flatten rest extract get file build struct CSV iteration. So define CS. Okay, so there is no docstring. So maybe this is. I think docstring is optional in Emacs Lisp. So define CSV iteration name functions optional return member CST. I'm checking if there is. I'm checking to see if this is common Lisp or what Lisp is this. Concat string. Okay, concat string. Maybe this is not Emacs Lisp, right? So I think dot Lisp is common Lisp. I haven't coded common Lisp. And this girl, this anime girl, cute. Int decode field something something for something. What code is this? Let's see. C malloc. Okay, well, that must be C. I haven't coded any C, but I do realize that malloc word, which is one of the that word, that function is the drama, the dramatic function of C. In scheme Lisp, it's tail recursion or core CC. In common Lisp, is def macro, define macros. In Haskell, it's monad. Uh, oh, okay. So SBCL common Lisp random code. Okay, so we have here Emily's. Yesterday hold on a second. She happened to show us her computer setup, and that turned out amazing. Let's turn it on. Hold on a second. So let's get them big screen. Let's get them big screen. Let me get the pictures first. And these servers got 96 CPUs and is in Emily's hands. All the CPUs are maxed out. This is just now 90. This is Linux edge tops that shows these graphics. And oh my god, all these CPUs are maxed out. So this is a server, right? But what servers are you guys running? Is a web server or what? Let's go back here, and so let me show you the earliest pictures. Wolfram language, that's great. Okay, so this is yesterday's talk. And okay, let's see the pictures. Let's show the pictures, and I want to show you some of the Emacs Lisp I did yesterday. But let me find the pictures. I should have prepared. Uh, Linus Torvalds, he's making 10 million a year. So basically, like 1 million a month. Linus Torvalds. He doesn't really code these days, but that's how much he's making. And he's introducing code of conduct to Linux code of conduct. Okay, so this is Emily's CPU from yesterday, the server CPU, but she's got some screenshot of her keyboard, and she is using Happy Hacking Keyboard. the keyboard I despise. But she's got a great setup, very a lot of do-it-yourself stuff. So one more picture. That's it, right? Yeah, that's it. Well, there's some others, but okay. So here is her setup, and let's see. So this is her setup, and this giant 3 monitors plus this one 4 monitors. Giant monitors, and all these are Emacs Lisp code. And she told us that all these are she's using Emacs Lisp to do something at work, for the company, for her company. And she's using Happy Hacking Keyboard. And note, this one is a Japanese version. Now the Japanese version's got several extra keys. The Japanese version is a good version because it has arrow keys. But but she customized and swapped all the keycaps. I think she's still got the Japanese letter keycaps. Is that? I think she could. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is customized keycaps, because in Japan keyboards you don't have giant Japanese characters, hiragana, katakana, like that. Is that right? This is your your own custom keycaps, right? But anyway, happy hacking keyboard. If you like it, get the Japanese version because then it's got arrow keys and it's got a whole bunch of thumb keys. But she customized it. She customized hers out of shape. The arrow keys are not here, and she's got Kensington trackball uh, and field code. That's a field code, not field code. That's what's the name? Uh, one of the expensive brand name keyboard makers. Uh, so she's got this mechanical keypad, I think, and another keypad. So that's her keyboard setup. But also, her Happy Hacking keyboard is got custom firmware. So she swapped her custom firmware so she can program the keyboard, the keys, and she's got this do-it-yourself device, sort of USB dongle, so that when you connect you connect your keyboard to it, and that connects to the computer. So any key code is gets translated. So essentially, it becomes a physical. It can make any keyboard become programmable keyboard. Emily, do you have the details? She gave some details in her Discord. You might check it out here somewhere, or Emily posted. Okay, so that is her keyboard setup. All these fancy things, fantastic. And she's got this classic compiler book. Now, this is an old version of the, this we call it Dragon Book, the red Dragon Book. It's got fantastic cover design. The red Dragon Book, fantastic cover design. However, this is from 1990s, I think, 1999 the edition, somewhere there. The later versions today, it's still Dragon, but they changed it's no good. So anyway, so that's her CPU, 96 CPUs. It's a Cisco server, Cisco blade, rack mounted server. And her other machines, her machines to connect to the server and stuff. And that's a classic, good old Microsoft Ergo 4000 keyboard. This keyboard I used for like 5 years. It's got the space bar is very stiff to the point that it causes you problems. So it caused me problems, and I tried to fix it. I took it apart and removed the stabilizers and stuff. Didn't work. So eventually I threw it away. Let's see. So 96 CPUs all maxed out. Amazing. Oh yeah. So here is a better picture of her Happy Hacking keyboard. Uh, so anything special about your key maps, Emily? Real Force, yeah. The name of this keypad is Real Force. Okay, this is high quality picture. Great, thank you, Emily. And I'm gonna put this picture in my keyboard blog. And another picture of her screen. Okay, so that's Emily's setup. Real Force, that's right. Real Force, that's custom keycaps. Okay, belongs in every office. Oh, I've bound all the additional keys as well to stuff like escape, backspace, enter, and it's the OG one. What is OG? MS Ergo is my backup keyboard. Okay. Hosted somewhere online except where because the keyboard layout is one that I have designed over many years. Oh, that's interesting. It's all custom. OG Dragon book. Oh, you call it OG? Oh, original. Okay. Wait. No. Oh, that cover is not the first. I know I have like posted picture of publishing date in Discord. Oh, okay. Uh, let's see Discord. You are viewing. Okay, I have to scroll all the way down. Let's see. Let me my spin wheel, mouse spinning wheel work. Okay, so you see today's application they load only part of your window. They kind of so this is a Dragon book. Library of Congress, 1986. Okay, so I actually collected. Actually, I haven't. I don't think I have collected all the versions of that book's cover. Let's see if I have that. I don't think so. Uh, Parser notes. Okay, Dragon book table of contents. So I've been trying to read this book. I read like half of it about 3 years ago. I should continue, but I didn't. But this is one of the things I need to do. Compilers, techniques, principles, and tools by these three guys. And when you read them, I when I read books, I also look up the authors. So and you learn something. I think if I remember correctly, one of them. Uh, okay, Alfred Aho. I think he's a guy who began Oak, or did I get confused? Um, Sorry. Anyway, I can find it. Anyway, yeah. Well, let me show it then. Let's show it. So let's go to syntax soup or semantic noodle, and we want to search for scheme. Okay, we want to search for Unix philosophy. No, we want to go to. Okay, I know where to go to. You want to go to why Python sucks. Okay, and the number one top item, why Python lambda is broken and can't be fixed. Okay, and okay, well, it's not this one. We want to go to syntax soup, semantic noodles. We want to find an article why Unix pipe sucks. Unix pipe dot notation, prefix notation. Okay, ontology of postfix notation, method chaining, and Unix pipe. This is a great topic to talk about. Um, Piping and function composition equivalence. Unix pipe as functional language. There it is. So this one, indeed, that's this guy. So Alfred Aho, he is a guy who invented awk, in Unix, and he's telling us here, history. He is an interview of him, and he's telling us awk is actually and Unix pipe originally it is borrowed from functional programming concept. When you have Unix, you pipe, cat, file name, pipe, grep something, things like that. Unix pipe. So awk, the language for basically text processing, it's outdated today. It's replaced by Perl, and today Perl is replaced by Python, Ruby, or any other languages. But anyway, 30 years ago, awk. So he created awk, and he is one of the author and of the Dragon book. And the another author is one of the famous cryptographic hash function or cryptographic system, I think. But anyway, so that is the, this is not the first version. I think there's a version before that. I don't have a picture of it. Oh, there it is. There it is. The older version. Uh, the older version. Let's see. Amazon has a bigger picture. No, no bigger picture. So there, the older. I think this version is the best. I like that one. The modern one, it's no good. They become 3D and they try to be funny. I don't find it funny. And they introduced another author, Monica S. Lam. Monica S. Lam, I think, if I remember correctly, she's at Stanford University, which is down here. I don't remember what else she has done. I think she's teaching compilers. One thing about book writing and book publishing is that they try to keep the names of the famous people. Like, so people know these guys wrote it. So even, let's say, some of these guys you know, may pass away, but they usually try to keep the original name, author's name, even though it's the original author didn't write it. I mean, even though the entire content of the book may have been changed, rewritten, but because due to the recognition, so book publishers they usually keep the original name. Okay, that's about compiler's book. That's about Emily's setup. Let's go to I think how long I've been talking for 20 minutes. I think 22. Okay, so let's go to compiler book, very interesting. Okay, so you guys go buy it. Compiler book. Okay, so actually I want to demo a lot of things. Okay, so this is, you need to magnify, make a link, copy, switch back here, and I need to get back to compiling. Good morning, Winnie. Good morning, Freddie. PDF layout development in the Discord. So guys, join the Discord. Okay. So Emily's got more information. Keyboard development history. Oh my God, she's got his keyboard development history. Okay, so you have to download it. Wait, I don't have to. We can show it in the browser. So let me get that. Right click, copy link, open link, copy link, go to Chrome. Now, why is the Brave browser start to download? Because it starts to download anyway. Okay, I guess it's because Discord makes you download it. So her keyboard history: Core Mac, Japan, Core Mac DH, wide keyboard, angle mod, miscellaneous. Okay, you guys can check it out. I have to read later. Okay, so let's see. Emily's setup. XAR start command log mod, so that for you Emacs fans, you can see all my commands on the left window here. And so Emacs tutorial update. So we're gonna talk about Emacs updates. Let's see if we can. Okay, so we may not. Let's do some interesting things first. Okay, let me quickly mention. So on Twitter, I was chatting. I was posting about keyboard layout stuff, and there is this guy who has interesting stuff. He apparently he also created his own layout. This guy, Tony Alden, and apparently he's a mathematician. So he created this very, very weird layout. Is this one? So I think this one is this one more weird than yours, Emily? Very weird. And I asked him, so where does this letter layout came from? And he tells me it's because we have to go to Twitter here. So let's go to Twitter. View in open link in Brave, okay, and open link in Brave. So you have to turn on JavaScript. Yeah. Turn on JavaScript. What's going on? Turn on JavaScript. I was talking about escape key because I was thinking escape key is kind of disappearing in mainstream. I'm trying to see if there's a trend that the escape key is disappearing in the mainstream. For example, Apple's laptop keyboards, they made escape. They don't have escape key, a physical escape key anymore. They made it into one of the LCD display touch keys. And also on the ultimate hacking keyboard, this one I have, they also don't have escape key by default. Let me show you quickly. The ultimate hacking keyboard. Let's plug it in so you can see the lights. So you see, so this is the ultimate hacking keyboard, and this is currently QWERTY. I don't want QWERTY. I want to switch to XXX layout. Okay, and they don't have, they don't have physical escape keys. Now by default, but you can see there it is escape. So if you want to press escape, by default, you have to hold down mod and press that. Hold down mod and press that. So that's the ultimate hacking keyboard. So I was thinking perhaps there's a trend, because I try to observe these kind of things. Perhaps there's a trend in mainstream that removes the escape key. These kind of things happen, and then you have to see why. Do like the question I ask is, do people actually use escape key? I mean, non-programmers, like average people. So I think most people, for those who are not computer professionals, they probably don't use escape key because today, because of the iPhone, phone apps interface influence, the phone app has a great influence on UI that's spreading to all desktop. For example, responsive design and all that. Because you might have noticed that on desktop, Many websites, their font becomes bigger, and much more spacing between lines, things like that. That came from phone. you know Although on a phone, it's a different system, but however, because the technology, they are also using CSS and all that. So apparently the designers, the programmers, the coders made it so that both are using the same kind of system. So anyway, and another good example is that you started to see a lot website has this three-bar menu. Uh, Three-bar menu. You click on that to show the menu. That design came from phone. So the phone had a lot GUI. The phone's GUI had a lot influence on everywhere else. It's spreading out. One of the thing about phone is that you started to see a design like this pop up. Like if you click anywhere else, it goes away. You see, so it's not actually a window. It's like a CSS layer that pop up. Let's see if I can still go back. Yeah. So you see, there is no. Let's see, escape key works. If I press escape, it does work. Okay. So, but that's a thing. So the phone UI design influenced that became spread over to other places. Anyway, so I was talking about my the escape. A lot of people answered. Uh, and he showed his layout, and apparently he created this on his own, and he gave reasons. Let's see. Yeah, hamburger menu. Yes, that's a name. I don't like that at all. So he's got a Git website. I showed here, uh, and you can go to, and he said. So he said he begin with the Beeple layout. Beeple is a layout optimized for German language, and he is French. Then he placed tab, backspace, return. He moved them to the middle, and then he removed those accented letters, because those can be done with a more general mechanism called dead keys. And then he added previous, next, backward, forward, and X on one side, control keys on one side, and he added alt graph key in middle. Then he grouped punctuations and stuff. Then so that's very customized key setup. What a deep rabbit hole keyboard customization. Yeah. Yeah, I try to avoid that. Well, actually, I do a I do a lot of that in Emacs for Emacs key binding, but not for the letter layout. For the letter layout, I usually try to avoid that. Anyway, so that's about his layout. So let's close all these windows to save memory. So Dragon Book contents. So this is Bart's forum. Bart is working on it. So I don't know. Bart, are you still working on this? So okay, let's save this. So let's save EE. This is my EE2. Save, close, save EE3. Save, close, save EE4. Save, close. They don't need to be they either need to be EE or TT. So tt1 save close, because the letter E and T are on Vorax index finger pressed by these fingers. So why EE and TT? Because if the file name started with EE or TT, then I can TT4, let's say, for example. So it's all saved, and go back to Discord and go here, and what I can do is, let me show you. I call this command. Now watch the left window, you'll see the command name, and watch over here on the right window, you'll see what it does. So I call the command Powershell, and I type a directory name, okay, directory I for images, and you'll ask me a file name. I'll just say okay, the default name. So you show in browser, you see I got the photo here. So when you save an image in browser, suppose you are a blogger or something, you save the image. what's the clap uh for are you talking about your so what's up with this? What are you doing with this? um so this Emacs command does is that if you are a blogger, you write a lot, there are some images you want to grab on the web, so you save it to your desktop. All you have to do is you name the starting name with E or TT. Then you can call Emacs command, and it will automatically move to your blog directory. And basically with the image tag or setup, you'll move the file, and you can also name it, at the time. So, for example, let me do it again. In I directory and default name, okay. Then repeat last command, okay. Repeat, repeat, repeat. So we got 4 of them to go. Whenever it's a PNG file, it will also automatically try to PNG crush to optimize the image. So this is very convenient. Okay, I think that's it. Show in browser. So we got all Emily's images. So I can pick some to blog it, and so that's about the Emacs command. So that command is called what is the command? Repeat complex command. XAR move image file. So that's the one. XAR move image file. I don't think it's on my website because it's on my GitHub though. Oh, there it is. XAR move image file. So if you are an Emacs user, you can use that. Okay, so I did a lot Emacs. So where are we going? So I need to get a drink. So we've been talking and this is Emily's PDF. So let's save it. I'm gonna read it later. So close to save memory. 17 people watching, 40 minutes. Okay, so we don't have time to I gotta do something about save memory and Dragon Book. So Emacs tutorial update. So let's talk about. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about Emacs and PowerShell. Maybe a demo of PowerShell and great math stuff. Let's get over with the math stuff because okay, so open link in Brave, because Emacs stuff we can talk about every day, because that's my thing. So Yeah, close to save memory. So this is fantastic math application. This thing is called clean quartic. I don't understand it, but on this page it's a collection of visual, very interesting visual stuff. Good morning, Fitch. How do you say your first name? Fitch ditch in dam Ash. Is that a fictional name or is that a real name? Um, so this page is a collection of visual math software. So even if you don't understand it, but it's fun because it's just visual. I have a plum juice here today. So if you go to, you know, this guy, you open it and you turn on JavaScript. Of course, you need JavaScript. This is modern society. You need JavaScript on so that corporations can track you. You have to help them track you. So here is the application. You hold the mouse down, you click, and it just moves like that. It's fantastic math. Then you have to start to learn this stuff. This math visualization are very interesting. It gets you interested. This can be used for decoration, for building a house. Many stadiums, things like that, they are built based on math, geometry principles, things like these, like sports stadiums, especially the modern ones. And then okay, so let's see, what is this. Let's see. Oh, so you can actually, wow, you can do a Voronoi diagram on this hyperbolic space. I think this is hyperbolic space, but this is a hyperbolic geometry. But you can do Voronoi diagram. You guys know Voronoi diagram? If you don't, look that up. Okay, that's very interesting. So here's a word, Voronoi diagram. Uh, you can see it, right? Yeah, yeah, exactly. Just Google. Google that word. There are many interactive applications for that. And if you are a programmer, I bet you would be very interested. It's first of all, it's a visually fantastic. There's a Wikipedia article as well. But anyway, if you are a programmer, you will find this interesting, and you might, as an exercise, you might to write an application doing that. There are many interactive JavaScript applications that you can see on the web. Basically, you give a random dots, any dots on a plane, in a plane, like it can be random or it can be regular, doesn't matter. Then you see the lines, all these lines, you see that it divides the plane, it partitions the plane into many regions. The way the lines are created, is the way the lines are generated are, each point on the line, the between the regions, they are equal distant between any neighbor points. So for example, this point and this point, you draw a line between them, and there is a midpoint between them. So that midpoint is part of this of the boundary between these 2 points. And what about the other points on the line? They are also equal distant. Like if you draw circles of the same radius, one centered on one point and the other circle centered on the other point, and you increase the circle size, the circle will intersect, and all the intersections of the circle will become the boundary of the Voronoi diagram. So basically, this is a way to partition the space so that each neighbor has kind of a fair way to divide a space between points. So this can be generated in real time, and you can drag the point around. There are many interactive applications on the web. You can drag the point around, and you can see them change in real time. So this is a Voronoi diagram. Okay, very interesting. You might try to implement it. I always wanted to, but I never did. One of the things to do, and this is part of the subject called computational geometry. When I'm studying game programming, like 3D graphics, I thought, I'm very interested in this kind of thing. So this is computational geometry. Okay. So when I'm doing, when I see books about computer graphics, I thought, I'm going to read about these things, but actually, no. When you study computer graphics, that like for the game 3D engines and so on, all the books you go in a bookstore out there, you look at them, they are nothing about this at all. Or maybe one section, a little bit computational geometry, but like 98% of the bulk of the content is not about these things. It's a fucking fucking OpenGL, fucking idiocy, OpenGL and pipes, pipelines, incredible idiotic thing. That's a computer, that's a programmer stuff. Programmers created that situation. They love that. Um, anyway, that's digression. So uh, uh, Voronoi diagram, very interesting, and apparently, so this guy is doing it on a hyperbolic space, same principle. So very interesting. So anyway, I just want to show that, and let's go back to Emacs. So let's read the comments then. Let's read the comments. There is some Emacs I want to say though. Okay, 45 minutes. Emacs tutorial update. So Emacs tutorial. Uh, VS Code and demo. Okay, so we are left with Emacs. Some talk about Emacs and some demo of PowerShell maybe. So let's read the comments. Magnify. So winter is coming. How? So Bart and Emily, do you guys have photos of UK and Germany? And any of you cool for school? Post it. So Emily says SBCL. SBCL. That's a Steel Bank Common Lisp. That's an interesting name. SBCL is a open source implementation of Common Lisp, but they have a interesting name. They name their software Steel Bank Common Lisp. Just some random code that maps function calls, so I can visualize the program structure. Oh, okay. So wow, that's interesting. But do you show it in? I mean, the final output is an image, some kind of graph structure. Just random code that maps function calls. Yeah, map function calls. I imagine that would be hard to write a program So it's that basically is a either static analysis, right? That's part of static analysis. You have to draw a graph of function calls. Okay, maybe it's not that hard. I'm not saying so this is Western, but example. Okay. Uh, yeah, it's amazing to know you guys because I didn't expect someone who wrote a lot Lisp is gonna following me and watch my videos. Real force. Okay, so if you have a comment, post. Okay, post right now. Dragon book. Okay, so Emily says the final output is a CSV. Oh, okay. Comma separated values CSV that I can import into something like Gephi. Okay. Uh, posted Germany in Diff's Discord. Okay, Germany in Discord. Not that, man. yeah, yeah, I know where Germany is. Thank you. Photo of your, streets, like something, photo of your house, your front yard, your street. So GNU Bernie Sanders says, elite GNU Emacs user, I'm not interested in compilers currently. Why should I read it and what use will it have? Compilers, well, if you are not in, you are you if you are not interested in compilers, there's no use. I mean, compilers is, it's kind of fundamental, but in real life, vast majority of programmers, you will never need to code anything close to it. You don't need to know. That's compilers. How about snapshot of security cam in my bedroom? That would be entertaining. Okay, let's talk about Emacs then. So I did a lot Emacs Lisp, so I'm gonna show you. Let's go to my Emacs tutorial. So Emacs run open external now works in Windows. Okay, so great tips. Okay, one of the great first thing is I found this fantastic. So Emacs great tip, real autosave inspired by VS Code. So I got this inspiration from Visual Studio Code. So for example, you see my oops. Okay, so let me split the window, create a new buffer, type something. So you see these two asterisks here. That means this file is not saved. If I save it, the asterisks will be gone. For example, save it. Okay, save it. You have to type a name. Okay, so you see the asterisk is gone. So if I type something, you see the asterisk is there again, so it's not saved. But how and same thing on the left window, you can see, so this is not saved. But now if I switch out of Emacs, then all unsaved files in Emacs will be saved. Let me show you. Okay, so I'm gonna switch out of Emacs. You see the asterisk is gone because it's all saved now. Switch back to Emacs, you see now it's saved. So this is automatic save, and when window is out of focus, it does a save. I got this inspired by from VS Code. Before I was doing whenever I switch to command mod, it does a save, but that's not so good because it's kind of annoying. because sometimes you don't want to save. You just want to switch to command mod and insert mod back and forth. You don't necessarily want to save. So this is much better because I was looking at Visual Studio Code since a few days ago, and so Microsoft, is quite interesting. Many things going on with Microsoft, and they also adopted many Unix and Mac conventions, because traditionally, you see, in a Windows application, you have options. Like on the Mac, the tradition is called preferences. You have these menu preferences, and command comma is a shortcut key to open the preferences panel. On Windows, by Windows convention, it's usually called options, and options usually is one in one of the other menus. But in VS Code, apparently they did the Mac way, because on Windows you see the same thing. They call it preferences. And the shortcut key is also control comma. So they adopted the Mac way, and so this is interesting. In the sense of user interface design, changes, history, evolution. Yeah, so I noticed that's interesting. So I was looking at Visual Studio preferences, and you have, for example, you have autosave option, and you can choose between after delay, or you can choose it on focus change. Which means when you switch out of Visual Studio, then it does save. So when I was seeing this, I thought, wow, that's a great thing. So I did that in Emacs as well. So if you are a Emacs user, then I recommend, if you like it, you can use that. So the code is here. It's very simple. So here, just it's just 7 lines. You go to my Emacs tutorial and you'll see it. And I'm using it right now. It's fantastic. So that's about, let's close that. So that's about the Emacs real autosave. Why Emacs itself has an autosave, but it's not like the Emacs Autosave. So let me show you Emacs Autosave. Okay, so let me talk about Emacs Autosave. Emacs has a autosave option since like 30 years ago, but it's pain in the ass, and it's a disfeature. It's a you don't want to turn it on. File. Okay, so you go to my Emacs tutorial. You go to init setup. This is all brand new. I rewrote it. I kind of redid it. I spent 2 days reorganized the whole thing, so it's brand new. This entire index section, all the pages are brand new. So you go to this page and you click on. So this is all about Emacs customization. Then you go to the file section. You have autosave. So here's how you do automatic save. However, Emacs has its own. It calls it autosave. Okay, autosave mod. But it's not what you think. In modern sense. Rather, it's kind of a backup system. So the proper name would be automatic save in case of crash. Okay, so basically what Emacs does is that after some time, periodically, Emacs will create like a backup copy of the current file you are editing and name it with a pound sign in front. It'll make a copy in the same directory. Then when you actually save your buffer, then that file disappears. Then Emacs deletes that file, and in case there's a power failure, then you will have some of these autosave files in your directory. Then when you open the file again, Emacs will detect that you have this autosave. Then Emacs will ask you, do Emacs will say there's a autosave file. Do you want to revert to that? So this is a mechanism to basically for power failures, things like that. And it's a pain in the ass because it creates these files, and those files are problem whenever you do sync, or whenever you have some automated script that traverse your directory. It run into these files. Sometimes these files points to non-existent links, so it chokes your automated script. Very annoying. And in my I turned off in the first 10 years of using Emacs. I didn't turn it off, but I almost never find it useful. Like there's one time or two I have a crash. I want to recover, but it's not in autosave, so I find this annoying. So that's the confusing part of Emacs autosave. Basically, I turn it off. You want to use this code uh, instead, the code I just gave today. So that's about Emacs autosave. So let's see. So the init file. So I did a lot of work on Emacs, and open through. Okay, and a lot. I spent whole day 2 days ago, yesterday, on coding Windows, making some of the commands work in Windows. That is, let me show you that. So these commands now they have proper version when you are in Windows. So the commands are show in desktop, open in VS Code, open in terminal, and open in external app. So show in desktop just show the current file, the current directory in desktop. For example, let me show you. You see, so I'm showing it on the Mac, in a desktop of the current directory. The file is in. So that's that. So on Windows, there's a bug. Now it's fixed. And open in VS Code. Now this we did a few days ago in a video. We coded in real time. So let's code it. So XAR open VS Code. Open in VS Code. So you just open the current file in Visual Studio Code. Wow, this is fantastic. Let's have a look. Visual Studio. It's pretty good, my impression. I plan to dig into detail, and you have this navigation map. That's interesting. Emacs has this too. You can install a package, but I would not trust Emacs features like that in Emacs, because for features like that, typically it involves something Emacs is not good at, like this mini maps thing. Okay, so this is today's Sound Talk Show. Wait, so actually close that, shrink. Let's go back. Let's go to my Emacs tutorial and open in VS Code. So this works in Windows too, and also on Linux. Yes. So if you have VS Code installed, you can use it. Look at this mini map on the right. This is a very long document. So they have the mini map. Now I wonder. Okay, so this mini map, I don't think it's actual. It's not a image file. I don't think so. Wait. Is it an image file? What happens if I have a image in my? Okay, I don't think it's an image file. It's just a shrinked text file. Okay, so in that case, I guess the Emacs version would also work. Okay. Uh, Good morning, Scott. Hello and good morning. Hello, beautiful people. Good afternoon, all. Uh, so you have a Visual Studio C++ macro to open the same file with cursor position in Emacs so that I can edit it in a real editor after coding some VS Studio debugging. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So this is the commands like this is nice because you need to because sometimes your editor doesn't do something well, so you can switch. Um, okay. Let's see what's the next Emacs stuff and how long I've been talking. I think we're gonna end pretty soon. Yeah. So okay. So any questions, guys? Type comments and questions. So Bob says, "How about snapshot of security cam in my bedroom?" Okay, we talked about that. Uh, okay. So Emacs. Let's see what else. Init setup. Yeah. So go check it out. Emacs open run in external. Yeah. So let me show you that. So there's still a few commands I show you. So open in desktop, okay, open in VS Code, open in terminal. So let's do that. uh, Open in terminal. So on the Mac it's gonna open in terminal. So here is the terminal with the current directory this buffer is in, this file is in. And on Windows, it's going to open in PowerShell. That's what I did. I worked on. So, and the commands are here. You can get them. Okay, so that's about that. Let's see what's the next Emacs stuff. Xafly keys. Okay, Xafly keys is got a new version. So here is the source code. Go to the top and go to the URL. And Daniel Langlo is his pull request has not been processed yet. So because there's a lot of work. Uh, I tried it. I need to fix something. So anyway, so there's a new version of Softlight Keys. Close that. Close that. Okay, PowerShell. Let me take 5 minutes to demo PowerShell, and that'll be it today. So we're gonna shut down in. I'm gonna shut down in 5 minutes. So PowerShell, as you know, it's available on the Mac today and also on Linux. PowerShell is becoming very popular because um, it's natural because PowerShell is the replacement. It's a new generation of the command prompt and much more powerful. Basically, if you work in Windows, if you use Windows technology, then or even if you use Windows as your own desktop, and if you are a programmer, then PowerShell is the appropriate shell you want to know. Because the command prompt is really lousy, it doesn't cut it, and the Unix bash is not suitable for Windows. The reason, let me show you. Okay, so let's open a terminal. Wait, not open the terminal. Let's open. Wait, yeah, open terminal. Yes. So open terminal. So let's put this here. Let's magnify a bit. Yeah, magnify. and let's put this in a like that. So you can go to PowerShell. Let's go to PowerShell. Uh, so I have a tutorial. Check it out. I have a tutorial here. It covers basics, but I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna demo the basics, so you feel it's not so scary to dive through, and you can start to learn the details. Actually, the PowerShell. So PowerShell has a lot built-in help features, so you don't actually even need to read a tutorial. You can start to use it, and whenever you don't know how some command works, you can just type help. Everything it has extensive like man pages basically, but much more better written. It's actually you can read them. So PowerShell, once you install it, then you what's the thing? Okay, so it's very easy to install. You just download it on Mac, Linux, or Windows. It's built in on Windows. So you on the Mac you started with PSSH, but on Linux and Windows you start with PowerShell, the full name. So I'm in PowerShell, and you can for example cd. Okay, I can type all the Unix bash commands like cd to previous directory. Actually, in the case of Mac, when you do cd, I think it may be using the bash version of cd, because in shells like this, when you call a command, if it's not part of PowerShell, it will. And if that, I mean, first, if that command exists in your system, it will just call that command. I think that's the case. But anyway, on Windows or Linux, you can, on Windows, for example, you can cd, you can make the, let's say, xx334, okay? So cd x34. So I'm in that directory. ls, you can do ls, there's no file. Yeah, in this case, when I call actually, so when I call these commands, they are actually calling the Mac version. I think, the Bash, the Mac's built-in version, the Unix version. But my point is that these commands also work in PowerShell on Windows, even if you don't have uh, CD and make the things like that, because PowerShell has built-in aliases. For example, on the left, you see the full name of the PowerShell command. They call it camlet, commandlet. So the full name is, for example, you have a command called get help, get dash help, but it has alias of help or man. So you can, if you are on Unix, you are used to type man something like to get the man page. That will work. So for example, you can say man make the. Yeah, this will just call the Unix version because I'm on a Mac. Those commands exist. But anyway, but if you are on Windows, for example, you can also say man make the, and that will actually. I'll tell you what that will show. That will show you this help make the. Why is that? About file system provider. Okay, so you have to actually let's shrink the window. Let's do it again. Okay, so you can say help about. Okay, so they do have help about file. So this is part of the PowerShell's extensive documentation. But anyway, what I'm trying to do is for example, I want to find out what make the what alias, what is the full command name of mkdir. Okay, so according to my tutorial, it should be, where is mkdir? It should be this one. Wait, make directory. Oh, PowerShell doesn't have. Anyway, I'm trying to, you see, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to see if there is an alias. What does the command of the, if mkdir, wait, is mkdir is actually, I haven't used that command for a long time. Yes, so let's see. I want to see if there's a command of mkdir. So no, there's no alias to mkdir. So when I use mkdir, it's actually the Unix command. But okay, I see what's going on. But on Windows, if you are running PowerShell on Windows, then the command mkdir is an alias of this. Wait, where is it? My tutorial is not so good. Well, I'm talking about removed. Okay, let's try removed. So cd up remove the x34. Okay, so now that directory is gone. Now I want to find what's the real command for remove the full name. So I type gal remove the. Okay, so no. Okay, yeah, so I know what's going on, because if you do this on Windows, it will work. It does not work on the Mac because there's actually no alias to remove the or make the, because you already have that command on the Mac. So the Mac version of PowerShell does not have those aliases. But anyway, on Windows, then you can type. Okay, for example, let me show you this gal. You see, when I type gal, that's actually an alias for the full name get alias. And this get alias command, what it does is that it will given an alias, or it will tell you the full name of that command. So let's, for example, we can do help gal. So you see, this is the documentation for the get alias candidate. You can also do help get alias. You see, that works. So if you know an alias, you want to know the full name, then you can say gal, then the alias name. So gal will return get alias, or you can say get alias using the full name gal. That will also work. So the point here is that PowerShell has all these aliases built in. So it makes it convenient. If you know command prompt, or if you know bash, you can already use it right away. Cd to directories, make the remove file, move file, things like that. And whenever you need to know the command name of something, you need help, just type help cd. Okay, so cd is actually an alias, so it's not using. Okay, yeah, you see, when you talk about shell, things get complicated. For example, if you use in Unix on a Linux box, if you type cd something, there's a question whether that cd is part of bash, or if that cd is part of the, is a command utility outside of bash. For cd, it's obvious it's part of bash. But for example, the kill command, that depends. Because if I recall correctly, bash, the kill command is part of bash. However, the Linux or Unix system also have a kill command utility. So you do want to know. So there's a question, just which kill are you calling? So that's the question, that you have this issue. When you call a command, in a shell, whether that's part of the shell or actually a system utility. So this issue is showing up here, showing up, in the past 10 minutes. 10 minutes we've been talking. So when we call cd, like I called cd here, I don't know where does the cd came from. Is it using my bash to do it or what? So apparently not, because cd is part of bash. There is no separate command cd in Unixes. So in the case of the Mac version of PowerShell, you don't have it. It actually has an alias to cd. So in PowerShell, cd is an alias to the full command name called, let's say, gal. Yeah, there's a lag. GALCD. So CD is an alias to the full command set location, the full name set location. So you can type help set location or help CD, and then it'll tell you what it does. It's kind of a generalized version of CD. Okay, so that's kind of some introduction to PowerShell, and you also have piping, just like Unix, and you also PowerShell versus Bash. Where are we? PowerShell versus Bash. So you have all these familiar commands in Bash. You can do touch, cat, tail, and I show you the PowerShell version. So one interesting thing is why did Microsoft invented PowerShell? So I was reading Wikipedia, and the inventor of PowerShell, said that, like 10 years ago when he began to manage, Windows systems, he just run Bash. He just run the Unix Bash. But however, that doesn't work, because in Unix, everything is a file. By design, the Unix operating system, everything is just a stream. It's just a file. So you can use text processing tools. Then things work out. But on Windows, most things are not files. You have everything is an API with object. So Bash, the Unix way, doesn't work on Windows. That's why he created PowerShell. So when PowerShell returns something, often it's an object. It's an object, but however, it's represented to you as a text, but it's actually object. When you pipe something in PowerShell, it's actually piping the whole object. That way, you kind of have more structured control. Okay, next meeting. Okay, so I think that's it for today. Does PowerShell has object? Yes, that's what it does. Join the I do club. Join the I do club. So what I do? So mastering Emacs. The thing in that book that I can't get used to is Helm and iBuffer. I learned Emacs in versions 18, and so Scott is reading that mastering Emacs book. That's interesting. I think that's it for today, guys. Okay, we shut down in 1 minute. Anything interesting? Hello, beautiful people. Steel Bank Common Lisp. PowerShell basics. Yeah, PowerShell, very interesting. PowerShell. Help CD. Quit. Help. Man. You don't have man, because man is not an alias on Mac, because on the Mac, man is a tool by itself. Therefore, You don't have a alias to it. But on Unix, you can do man. So on man is interesting. On Emacs, you have a command called women. These stupid nerds inventing these stupid jargons. So why women? First of all, we can let's. So I'm in Emacs, right? I can show you a man page. So you just mx man, okay? Then you need to type a topic. So man. Okay, so now we see the man page, the Unix man page in Emacs. Now the Emacs man command, when you do mx man, that actually calls the Unix man command. Then it takes the its output, then formatted, shows in Emacs. That's the man command. Now there is a, a man utility written in Emacs Lisp entirely. And that command in Emacs, that command is called woman. Okay, these nerds, they try to use these jargons. They love it. This we are talking about 1990s or 1980s hackers. These type of people. Typically, the Unix philosophy, the Unix loving people. So let me show you the woman um, command. Okay, let's open a new window. New window. Okay, so I'm gonna call mx woman. Okay, there you have it. Now I need to type a topic, so I say man, woman, man. There it is. It's basically the same thing. But the woman utility is written entirely in Emacs Lisp. That's a difference. Okay, that's it. Bye, guys. Thank you for watching. Page. Yes, the full name is without man. Yeah, that is the you know like they always have a backward justification, backronyms. For example, the GNU. GNU is not Unix. The backronym. Recursive acronym. The word recursive acronym is a backronym. Okay, because these nerds, good morning, Roland. Love you. So these nerds, they create a jargon and they create justification afterwards, like post the fact. Typically, that's the case. For example, PHP, the programming language, was pretty homepage. Okay, my pretty homepage, because it's a teenager who wants to create his homepage based on Perl. Basically it's a Perl script, pretty homepage. Then it became popular. Then after 10 years, it's something kind of what's the full acronym for PHP? Like fantastic hypertext processor, for those crap. It's kind of verging on lying, on erasing history. And also another story is the naming of Apache. The Apache web server. The naming of Apache web server. Why is it called Apache? Because originally it's just a patch, patch like code patch, lots of patch. You find a bug, someone patch it, so patch, patchy, Apache server. That's what Apache web server name came from. Apache web server. But now it's like, oh, if you go to their website, read their FAQ. Now it's like, oh, we respect Native Americans. We want to pay honor, to them. So that's why we name our server as Apache. Fuck them. And they back then, like in 1999 also, the Native Americans, they actually fought the domain name with the Apache people. The Apache people, don't give a shit. They fuck with the Native American people. They don't give a shit. They want the domain name. That is the history of Apache. You know, So I have this article, Apache rewrites history. Why is it named Apache? So they have a FAQ from 1997. It says, why is the name Apache? It says, a cute name which stuck. Apache is a patchy server. It was based on some existing code and a series of patch files. Okay, but now in 2013, the FAQ says, why the name Apache? It says, the name Apache was chosen from respect for the Native American Indian tribe of Apache. Fuck them. This is lie. This is open source, guys. This is open source. You guys are bought into. This is malicious. Malicious. This is criminal act lie. This type of thing. Hot takes. That's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.